日本時間5月24日、米国時間5月23日、ロサンゼルス、ドジャースがブルワーズ戦で快勝し、レギュラーシーズンで続いていた連敗の流れを断ち切った。試合後の番組では、大谷翔平を中心にドジャースの現在地が大きな話題となった。この日の勝利では、テオスカー、ヘルナンデスが6打点の大暴れ。さらに佐々木朗希も初回に3失点を喫しながら、その後は立て直して10者連続アウトを記録した。米メディアは、精神的な強さが見えた登板と高く評価している。一方、番組内では殿堂入り投手ジョン・スモルツ氏が大谷について言及。投手と打者を同時に超一流レベルでこなすことは、本来なら不可能と語り、その挑戦の異常性を改めて強調した。さらに、大谷が6人ローテーションの中でもヤング賞争いに加わる可能性についても議論が展開され、スモルツ氏は、今の時代なら十分にあり得ると断言。健康な状態の大谷なら、史上最高の選手を証明できるとも語った。ドジャースは苦しい流れを断ち切り、新たな勢いを手にし始めている。この後、番組では大谷翔平をめぐるさらなる議論と、MLB 最新トピックが続く。ぜひ最後までご覧いただきたい。
Baseball night in America. Post-game show. The Dodgers take out their frustrations on the Brewers, who had beaten them 9 straight in the regular season. Not anymore. That streak is over. LA wins big tonight. Good to see you. D-Train, Dontrell Willis is here, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So a couple things for the Dodgers, who obviously swept the Brewers when it counted in the playoffs last year. But, you know, they kind of exercised all their demons here tonight. Teoscar Hernandez, 6 RBIs, that ties a career high. And then Roki Sasaki. It looked like he was going to get boat raced early in this game, and then he kind of hung in there and gave him a good start.
You know, mental toughness is what I'm starting to see from the young man, and mound presence. He gives up 3 runs in the first inning. The Brew crew is rocking and rolling. The fans are on their feet. The command is not there. All of a sudden, he gets out of it and he stabilizes their team and allows his offense to be able to chip away. He started to find feel of that split finger to slow their offense down and retired his last 10 batters. That shows me mental toughness and conviction in throwing the baseball. It was huge, and it allowed Teo and company, especially that monster day, 6 RBIs, a big 3-run home run, a nice little bat toss as well. This is the Dodger offense that you know and love, and if you allow them to get into the ball game and not play from behind so much, could be the outcome.
Yeah, but they trailed 3-0 after 1. They were only 2-13 this year when they were down 3 or more. So a little comeback, little offense. And as we mentioned, Teoscar Hernandez, 6 RBI night. He's with our Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Kevin. Teo, 3-run homer. You tied your career high with 6 RBIs. But let's start with Roki Sasaki. Allowed 3 runs in the first, and that was it. He retired his last 10 hitters. How impressed were you by the way he recovered?
I mean, the biggest thing is like giving those 3 runs and then focus and getting back, attacking the hitters, and then hitting the strike zones, getting ahead in the count. You know, he's been great in the last 3 starts. I think he's still learning, still getting the confidence back, and I think we're gonna see the Sasaki that they used to see in Japan.
Your 3-run homer in the 4th. You hit an 0-2 pitch. Gasser went sweeper, changeup, then he came back with a sweeper. What were you thinking there?
I mean, something on the play. I mean, I was not trying to hit a homer, especially not a bad 0-2 count. Really trying to short your swing, trying to put the ball in play. I just react good to that one.
Dave Roberts dropped you in the order. You hit 7th today. You've hit 8th quite a bit lately. Teo, how did you react to that? Did it help you at all?
I mean, it's baseball. I talked to Dave. I always told him that anywhere he wanted me to play or hit in the lineup, I'm going to be 100% trying to do my best and just trying to do my job. And that is to help the team win. So it doesn't matter for me. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever it is. I'm going to go there with the same focus and just trying to do my job.
Well, it was a great day today, Teoscar. Congratulations. Kevin, back to you.
Yeah.
What is up, my friends? It is John Smoltz Day here on Flippin' Bats, where every single week the Hall of Famer from the Atlanta Braves joins us to talk about really whatever is happening around the game of baseball. This week, I want to ask him about Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher. We have seen him hit less while he is the starting pitcher on the mound this year. We did see him hit a leadoff home run in a game he started on the mound the other day, but he wasn't as good on the mound, as sharp as he has been. So I want to ask John, should we see more of that? Should we see less of him hitting while he's pitching and just let him focus on that? And also, can he win the Cy Young Award as part of a 6-man rotation where he's not going to get the innings and the strikeouts that maybe some of the other guys will, even though his ERA is minuscule? So we'll talk about that. I'm going to ask him the most surprising above 500 team. The White Sox, the A's, the Pirates, and the Cardinals, all above 500. Surprisingly, I would say. So I'm going to ask, who is the most legit, surprising team that's over 500? Also, a team that's not over 500, the Angels. Mike Trout, still playing good baseball at this point in his career and still not on a good baseball team. John Smoltz spent the majority of his career with one team. So I'm going to ask, is this the year that Mike Trout gets out of Anaheim and goes to play for a new team and gets traded at the trade deadline and allows a trade at the trade deadline? Or does he stay put because he's comfortable there? I'm gonna ask Smoltz about that. And also ask if he is going to be part of the Tarps Off movement around baseball at any point soon. People are all around the baseball world taking off their shirts, spinning them around their head at stadiums, and there's huge sections, and they're all going crazy. So Smoltz isn't on social media. So I'm going to ask if he's heard about it and if he's going to be a part of it. This is going to be a lot of fun. Smoltz, as he told us a couple weeks ago, had begun a 22-day road trip, not just a vacation, all over the place. But he is now on vacation, and he is, I think, in the middle of the sticks. So his signal is not great here. It does get better throughout. It's good, it's bad, but it's going to be fine. Without further ado, let's welcome in now the Hall of Famer, John Smoltz. John, I want to start with you this week on, I've pretty much watched every one of Shohei Ohtani's starts this year. He's been fantastic on the mound, but he hasn't always hit while he pitches. This past start, we did see him hit while he pitches. He led off with a home run. It definitely wasn't his best start. He definitely didn't look his sharpest. Is Dave Roberts and the Dodgers onto something this year where Shohei isn't hitting as much while he pitches? Do you think that's something that's playing into the year Shohei is having on the mound? Should we see that more?
Yeah, I've tried to explain it a long time ago to people, and they just don't understand what the heroics that he's been pulling off, right? I mean, it's impossible to do both at an elite level. It is truly impossible. But what he's doing is the next thing close to impossible. He's incredible. And it's going to have regression. We haven't seen the full complement of his season on the mound and hitting. Is he going to figure it out? Yes, but it is hard. People don't understand. I know pitchers take a lot of grief for, how hard is it to pitch once every 5 days? It's difficult because you have to concentrate just on the pitching aspect, the training component. Your eating habits are different. Your preparation is different. And imagine if you have to do that every single day, and 4 out of the 5 days, it's for something different. You can't afford to go in a slump and affect both. It's one thing to not pitch well but hit well. It's one thing to not hit well but pitch great. And so he's just doing something that for the first time at an elite level with an expectation through the roof, we're getting a chance to see the normalcy. He's normal now, right? This is kind of normal if anyone could ever understand what doing both is like.
Obviously the numbers are fantastic. Can you win a Cy Young Award in a 6-man rotation? There's a lot that comes along with that. There's a lack of innings. There's not getting the totals that other pitchers will. So we're starting to have a Cy Young conversation. The ERA is 0.73, but he's in a 6-man rotation and not getting the innings that the main guys are getting. Can you win it in a 6-man?
You can win it in a 7 and an 8-man based on the watered-down ethics of pitching. Blake Snell won his Cy Young with the bare minimum amount of innings. It became the new normal. There's a lot of people that don't like it that way, don't feel like. Here's my problem with when people try to assume if X player kept going and if he threw 240 innings, here's what his season would look like. Yeah. You can't do that. It's very easy to have a great year in the minimum innings category. it's a lot harder to have a great year when you make every start and pitch 230 innings.
Yep.
So I think the biggest thing for Shohei is he is going to show what he's capable of doing on the mound. He always has. And now that he's healthy and now that he's determined, he's going to win, in his mind, a Cy Young and prove to everybody why he's the greatest player in the history of baseball.
Yep, absolutely agree with you. John, switching pages a little bit, I want to ask you, there's 4 fairly surprising teams that are over 500. And I want to ask you which of these teams you think is the most real between the White Sox, the Athletics, the Pirates, and the Cardinals. All, I would say, a bit surprising that they're over 500 at this point in the year. Who do you think is the most legit of those teams?
I think the Athletics have proven what they could do. They've spent some money in different ways. They're anticipating their new home coming up. I think the ballpark they play in now to be very difficult in the heat in the summer. That'll be a different conversation. But I think the Athletics are the most real because I think they're the closest team to being prepared for the season. Like the Cardinals are exceeding everybody's expectations. They have a young core that's done an incredible job. They're way ahead of what anybody thought. I mean, their fan base has shown you, based on the lack of turnout, where they think the club was going. And now they're exciting again. And that's a good thing for the Cardinals because they are such a proud organization. The White Sox are definitely the most surprising because if you believe in win total expectation, they're going to probably shatter that. And that's a great thing for the White Sox because that's been miserable for the last few years. I mean, they just tore it down and now they're trying to rebuild it. So I think the no longer Oakland, Sacramento A's are definitely the most legit of teams moving forward in the division they're playing and the start they've had.
Speaking of miserable situations, I want to talk about the Angels because once again, they're a bad team. Once again, Mike Trout is finding himself in trade questions already. We're here at the end of May, and they're starting to talk to Mike Trout about trade questions that have always been there for him, and he just has never left. So my question for you, John, as a guy that spent the strong majority of your career at one place and wanted to do that, similar to Mike Trout saying he wants to be out there, do you think this might be the year? Later in his career, he's still showing that he has it a little bit. Do you think there's a chance this year that Trout is finally like, all right, I'll do it. I'll approve a trade and I'll get out of there?
I can see both sides of this. I think the tough part comes when a player's in an organization, he has a chance to go to a winning ball club, to go in the playoffs and win for the first time, and he chooses not to. I know a lot of people frown at that. They're like, really? You don't want to win? But on the flip side, in fairness, I got a chance to stay my entire time for the most part with the Atlanta Braves, but all we did was win. And I wanted to win. So it's up to the player. And I don't know if it's always fair. I think it's easy to cherry pick and go, how could a guy turn down a no trade to a team that's going to the playoffs with a chance to win a ring? Not everybody fits that mold. They're not all wired the same way. I have a innate problem with if it were me and I had a chance, unless there's other circumstances, whether it's family, kids, and all that, that's different. But I would want to win championships. And you see players get to move around and get 3-4 rings on 3 or 4 different teams. And at the end of the day, you gotta feel like that was worth it. But not everybody's personality wants to move. They're comfortable where they are. And let's face it, sometimes the pressure of winning or the lack of pressure of winning can be conducive for a player too. And that's why it's not the easiest answer for everybody.
Yep, I agree. Last one for you this week, John. There's a new trend going around the baseball world. It's the Tarps Off movement. Have you heard or seen the Tarps Off movement?
No, I've been gone and missed it out. What is the Tarps Off movement?
You're in for a treat. The Tarps Off movement started in St. Louis with a club baseball team from Stephen F. Austin going into the stands and taking off their shirt. And now it's spreading around the whole baseball world because there's sections in every stadium where people are taking off their shirts, waving them around their head, and screaming. And it is spreading like wildfire. So really, John, my question is, at the end of this road trip for you now, can we expect to see you tarps off in a baseball stadium somewhere?
No, I'm not one of those guys that could jump in easily to what, the rest of the copycat world will do. So I did see that. It looked like a lot of fun, and it looked like the Cardinals had, especially their manager, had a lot of fun with it. And that's pretty cool. I think anything that, catches on fire that is generally good, and I'm all for it.
John, appreciate the time as always. Enjoy the family vacation. Your road trip is wrapping up, but I'll talk to you again next week.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, thanks, John.
今回も最後までご視聴いただき本当にありがとうございました。動画の内容を楽しんでいただけたでしょうか。もしよろしければチャンネル登録と高評価をお願いいたします。皆さんの応援が今後の動画制作の大きな励みになります。それではまた次回の動画でお会いしましょう。